All right, my name is Chris Kelly, and allow me to welcome you to the first week, or the first 2 weeks, workout A of our beginner core program. Now, for this workout, we're going to need a yoga block, or anything you can squeeze. You can use a book or even a small water bottle. We're also going to need some incline surfaces. Okay, what I'm going to do is kind of demonstrate proper form in each of our exercises, and then walk through the workout with you. Okay, so we have two circuits in our workouts. Okay, circuit 1 is going to consist of 2 exercises. Circuit 2 is also going to consist of 2 exercises. I'm going to present you with 3 difficulty levels for each one. I want you to pick the one that works for you. Okay, chances are that's kind of where you need to be right now. So oftentimes what people will do is they'll go through our program at one difficulty level, and then they might cycle back through at another difficulty level. The key is that as we go along, we have 2 important factors. Number 1, you can feel your core the entire time, as opposed to your back. And a perfect example is the plank, which is going to be our first exercise. If I'm doing a plank on the ground and I can only feel my arms, all right? Oftentimes it's not going to be because I have core weakness. It's going to be because my arms are weak. It's hard for me to hold myself up. So I'm trying to have a lot of competing demands. So I would implore you to pick the version that is easier in the beginning, where you can really feel your core and you feel like you have mastery over the exercise. Certainly as you go along throughout this period of 2 weeks in our first phase, you can make it harder. Okay, that's not a problem. But starting easier and really feeling the right stuff, and only the right stuff for the most part, is going to be important. Now, the other factor is breathing. All right, here's how we want to breathe in our core workouts. With each exercise, we want to be able to breathe. We're not holding our breath. We're getting all of our core muscles involved. And this is particularly important for those of you that have had back pain or pelvic floor issues or whatever. Breathing signifies that we're using our diaphragm to move up and down and create pressure. All right? So let's practice a breath. Take a deep breath in with me. We count to about 5. Now let's go long exhale. And then pause. One more time. Deep breath in. Exhale. Pause. As you can see, slow and controlled breathing signifies that everything is working together. If you find that you start breathing more shallow throughout this workout, or other things start to turn on, pick an easier difficulty level, or pause the tape, rest a little bit longer. All right, now, our first circuit consists of 2 exercises. All right, we have plank and glute bridge. I'm going to demonstrate 3 versions of plank and 3 versions of glute bridge, and I want you to pick the one that works for you. I'm going to be doing the most difficult version, and I'll kind of rotate throughout these during our circuits. Also, the way that we time these exercises is I'm going to do 15 seconds of work in this phase, followed by 15 seconds of rest. Okay, we're going to repeat that 4 times for set 1. That break is just going to allow your core to rest a little bit, make sure we're not overwhelmed and it's taken beyond its capacity. Okay, our ultimate goal is to hold in these positions for up to 60 seconds, but for today, we want to make sure that we give ourselves enough time to recover in order for the right muscles to work at the right time. That's the purpose of this. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our first exercise, which is a plank. All right, so now we also want to make sure that we have access to a wall and kind of like an inclined surface, like a couch or something. So for me, I've got a step here, but that's my couch for today. All right. So now, what do we want in a plank? What's proper form? Number 1, I want to make sure that my back is nice and flat. Okay. So if I drop my ribs together, I'm kind of finding this flat back position. So if I arch my back excessively, this is what we're trying to prevent in a plank. So if you see somebody holding in a plank and it looks like they're doing like a worm where their stomach is dropping down to the ground, that's really the thing that we want to avoid. The purpose of the plank is to teach the abs to prevent excessive extension or kind of like forward shifting of the rib cage. We're trying to anchor our rib cage in place so it is on top of our pelvis the entire time, and that's a good way to think about it, okay? So our first version of this exercise would be on a wall, okay? So I'm going to show you this kind of from the side here, so you can see me a little bit better, but I'm going to come into a plank position here. I'm up on my toes, And first and foremost, I want to find a flat back so I can arch, I can round, and then I just find a place in between kind of where everything is stacked on top of itself. And I tell people, you know, you want to kind of like drop your ribs down. So if I arch my back, you can kind of see things flare out. If I drop down, you can kind of see them kind of crunch in. That's where you want to be, okay? So again, I'm holding in this position. I'm pushing my hands into the wall to create some pressure, and that's important too, just creating tension. So let's take a practice breath. Deep breath in, exhale. Can you hold this position, all right? Can you feel your abs? And if that's super easy for you, the next version would be inclines, okay? So you can see here that I have an inclined bench here. This is a little bit more weight bearing now because, again, I have a bench. And put my elbows on the bench. Again, I'm gonna find a flat back here, incline it, and again, just breathe, push my hands into the ground. Can I create tension? Do I feel my core versus anything else? Can I hold in this position? All right. Was it a super struggle? If it was, maybe start on the wall. If it wasn't, this might be the place for you. The hardest version then would be on the ground. Okay. And so for this, again, same thing. Before I do this movement, I'm going to find a flat back position. So this would be my in range of extension. This would be my in range of flexion. I want to stay a little bit more flexed and extended. But again, I'm flattening out and I'm holding in this position. And you notice everything is flat. And if you are on the ground, what I'm going to have you do is you're going to put your water bottle or your block on your back, because this is going to allow me to kind of monitor my back position, right? If I start to drop down too much, I feel that. Okay, I can feel kind of the block shift, or if I rotate too much, the block falls off. So that's just kind of a good way to monitor your situation, okay? So that's exercise 1. Exercise 2, which is glute bridge, a little simpler, all right? But glute bridge, the way this works is level 1 is literally just coming up and holding in this position, all right? So my goal here, I just want to feel my butt, okay? I'm just holding here, making sure my butt cheeks are working, coming down, all right? Level 2 would just be coming up and coming down, all right? So just like that. Level 3 would be a march, okay? So with that, I'm gonna put my fingers on my sit bones, just gonna alternate back and forth here. Okay, that is a little bit harder, and what I wanna make sure here is that as I do that, I'm not dropping down, okay? So I'm able to control that. So again, for each exercise here, I want you to pick the version that works for you, all right? Perform that version. What I'm going to do as we go along here is I'm going to time us, okay? I'm going to monitor these this stuff with a timer, all right? We're gonna have some fun, all right? So we're going to start with plank, okay? Again, I'm going to do it on the ground because it's the easiest position for me to show you what to do, okay? But I want you to follow along with me, okay? So again, pick your difficulty level and let's go. So I will time us, setting up my timer. Here we go. We're going to do 4 rounds of 15 seconds on, 15 seconds off. We begin in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So we're holding here. Let's take a deep breath in, exhale, pause. Deep breath in, exhale, pause, breathe in, exhale, pause. All right, now I'm just gonna come down. I can continue to breathe like that. You can either just kind of hold in a resting position, continue to breathe, or you can just stand up and shake it out. We've got about 5 seconds and we're gonna go again. All right, so here we go. 2, 1, let's raise it up. Deep breath in, pause. Deep breath in, pause, deep breath in. So really we're getting at about 2 breaths per 15 seconds, and that's about what it should be. But again, throughout this, I want you to continue to breathe deep. Okay, again, I can stay in a weight bearing position pretty easy, but if you need to rest it, do so. Here we go, deep breath in. Pause. Deep breath in. Exhale. Pause. You're doing great. Hopefully you're feeling your core so far. Again, shake it out as you need to. You know, you can come up into on your knees. You can shake your hands out. That's fine. We've got one more round to go. Let's raise it up. Deep breath in. Exhale, pause. Deep breath in. Exhale. Pause. Very good. All right, so that was our first exercise there. And again, that might have been super easy for you. If it was, great. You maybe instead of pausing with me, maybe you're just holding through this. That's perfectly fine. Ultimately, our goal, in total, that was 60 seconds of work. So ultimately, our goal is to do 60 seconds of work. So do 60 seconds of work. But I would encourage you to just work with the process here. If you work with the process and you just go through this as I coach you, and we build up a strong foundation over this period of time, you're going to be that much better. So now we're going to go into a glute bridge. And again, I'll do the kind of the moderate version for me to begin with here. Here we go. I'm going to push your butt up into the air, come down. I'm not worrying so much about breathing here, but I can take a deep breath in at the bottom. I'm going to exhale as I come up. It's not as important. Again, we're just coming up and down, making sure we feel our glutes. Again, just rest, shake it out. If that's easy for you, just keep going. That's not a big deal either. I'm just going to make sure I can kind of just like reach my hands, you know, shake it out, make sure that I'm able to kind of get what I need. Here we go again. Just coming up, come down, coming up, down again. Just feeling my glutes, really squeezing. Making sure everything works like it should. Come down, relax, again, shake it out. What we can also do is just kind of like raise your hands and feet up towards the ceiling, pressure back into the ground, take a breath. Kind of reposition you, put your back in a better position. Let's come up, let's squeeze. Again, just make sure you're squeezing your glutes. Exhale as you come up. Deep breath in at the bottom. Exhale as you come up. Deep breath in at the bottom. Exhale as we come up. We come down and rest. All right, just shake it out. We've got one more to go. I'll probably tell you to shake your butt in this more than any other person you've ever heard, but it's for good purpose. And here we go, one more time. So let's come up in the air, squeeze your butt, come down. Continue to keep going here. Again, just making sure that we feel our glutes. Perfect. All right, so now in between our sets, we're going to do what is called a repositioning exercise, right? And this is very similar to the postural exercises that you do daily before you work out, okay? So we're going to do what's called an all fours belly breath here. And you can either do this on your hands or on your knees. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my shoulder blades apart as much as I possibly can. I'm going to take a deep breath in. I'm going to exhale. I'm going to hold this position. Again, I'm going to take a deep breath in. Push my shoulder blades apart. Hold this position. Exhale. We're just going to do 3 more. Deep breath in. Push away from the ground. Exhale. Hold. Deep breath in. Push away from the ground. Exhale. Hold. Deep breath in. Push away from the ground. Exhale. Hold. One more time. Deep breath in. Push away from the ground. Exhale and hold. Now, that also brings up a good form cue in the plank as well. Okay, we're going to go back to our planks for 3 rounds this time. But when we're holding on our plank, I want you to really pay attention to your shoulder position, okay? So if we come into this position and my shoulders are collapsed, right? This is not what I want. I want to push my shoulder blades apart as well. So they say we have 2 cores. We have kind of our upper core, which is our shoulders and our scapulae, and we have our lower core, which is our abs, okay? Maintaining a flat back position, meaning everything is flat. You can kind of see you could not put your fingers in my shoulder blades here, whereas if I collapse, you can kind of see the shrug position. So try to push everything apart. just like we just did in that breathing exercise. All right, so here we go. We're holding our plank position again. And again, if this is easy, if you're able to do that, challenge yourself by holding through the plank for longer periods of time. Just make sure you continue to breathe. Take the rest period with us as you need to. So maybe I do 3 rest periods, you do 1 rest period. Fine. Let's see how we do this here. All right. So here we go. And 3, 2, 1. Shoulder blades apart. Let's take a deep breath in. Let's exhale. We pause. One more time. Let's take a deep breath in. We exhale. We pause. Just shake the hands out a little bit here. You guys are killing it. Once we get done with this program, you're going to be able to do a 60-second plank, which is pretty beast mode. All right, so let's build some strong foundations here. Shoulder blades come apart. Deep breath in. Exhale and hold. Pause. One more time. Deep breath in. Exhale. Pause. All right, we got one more round to go. Again, going into beast mode here. And for me, the hardest thing to remember is to create tension. So pressing my elbows into the ground and even digging back like I'm doing like a crunch is a good thing to do. So here we go. Last one. Let's take a deep breath in. Let's exhale. Let's pause. One more time. Deep breath in. Exhale. Pause. And come down. Good job. All right. So you're going to go back to our glute bridge. Come back on our back. And let's extend up. And again, if you're having trouble feeling your glutes, like you just don't feel your butt working, what you could do is you could put your hands on the side of your knees like this and just kind of like push out, hold for a second, really just feel that burn. Again, it's all about creating tension. So just coming down, relaxing for a second. And if what I encourage you to do here is just like experiment with that. Like on the break here, just push your knees out, hold up in this position, make sure you don't feel your back, and just really get things to work. It's called like a pre-fatigue set. So I'm trying to just like hold up there and make things work and squeeze. Then I just use my hands as I come up and down here. And again, this is a real slow and controlled pace. The faster I move these postural exercises, the less I feel what I need. So let's stay up and squeeze. We're just going to knock this guy out one more time. And I mean, if you do this right, your butt should really be burning by the end of the set. So here we go. Good stuff. All right. So we're just gonna do 5 breaths of our all fours belly breathing here. So let's just round out as much as we possibly can. Let's take a deep breath in. Push the shoulder blades apart. Let's exhale. Let's get all the air out. Let's take another deep breath in. Let's exhale. Let's get all the air out. We got 4 more to go. Deep breath in. Exhale. Get all the air out. 3 more. Deep breath in. Exhale. All air comes out. Deep breath in. Shoulder blades apart. Last one. Deep breath in. Shoulder blades apart. All right. So we have our last set of our planks here. And with this thing here, we just have 2 rounds this time. So if you want to challenge yourself and hold through, go ahead and do it. If you're getting fatigued, which is the reason we kind of come down on our sets, then just follow on with me and we got this thing together. So here we go. Let's come on our elbows here. Let's come up into a plank position. Let's take a deep breath in. Let's exhale. Let's hold. Let's take another deep breath in. Let's exhale. Let's hold. Let's come down and relax. Shake things out. You can kind of do a belly breath as we go through this. Just reestablish your pelvic position. We've got 1 more to go here. So let's raise up into a plank. Again, deep breath in. Pause. One more time, deep breath in. Pause. And we're all done with planks, all right? Now we have our glute bridge, all right? And for this last exercise here, I'm gonna challenge myself by doing the hardest level. But again, I'm gonna keep my hands kind of on the side of my hips so I can generate some tension. So again, I'm keeping my hips high. We're just alternating here. And what I'm trying to do is to not rotate from side to side. I can put my fingers in my sit bones. It causes me to lose contact with my legs. But again, kind of get the idea. All right, so let's stay up here if you can. Let's push the knees out. Try to generate some tension. Try to make your butt work. Give yourself some love. And again, we're just feeling the right muscles activating. Again, putting my fingers in my sit bones to make sure that I'm not rotating excessively. If it's hard for you to do this, again, stay at level 1, or level 2, that's fine. And again, I'm just going from side to side here, just making sure the right muscles work at the right times. All right, so you're all done with circuit 1. Fantastic job. We're just going to transition into circuit 2, and I look forward to your success.